Hello everyone. Today we are going to play around with the spine. So creating mobility and suppleness in it is something that I highly value, and it's good for all the movement that you make throughout the day so that you are loading your body in a dispersed way and not just putting all the weight and pressure in one spot. So we're going to work on twisting the upper part of your spine, so left and right twists, and then we're going to also work on flexing the lower part of your spine, so flexion extension. We're going to go floor, come up a little to seated and on all fours, and then back down to the floor. And some of these tasks you can actually do at your chair at work or in other spaces without it looking crazy weird that you're doing yoga in the office. All right, so we're going to start on the floor in a seated position of any kind, or you can also start this in a chair if you want. And take a few cleansing breaths. That might be some big inhales all the way up to the top, and then some long, slow exhales out the mouth. A cleansing breath might also mean just taking a few casual inhale exhales at whatever pace they come, whatever depth they arrive. With or without the mouth open. And after a couple of rounds of calming, soothing in and outs, then we're going to come onto the back. And maybe you already started there, but once you come onto the back, however you want to end up on your posterior side, bring the feet extra wide and let the knees fall inward towards each other. Take a big reach with the arms straight up towards the ceiling and then overhead behind you. And then extend the fingers as if there is a wall behind you and you're trying to place your tippy fingers on it. And then bring the shoulders back to stillness, fingers up towards the ceiling, and then back down to your sides. And keeping the feet either wide, or if it feels better to bring them in more towards center, you're going to rock them a little side to side. Little baby windshield wipers. Your windshield wipers might come close to the floor. They might come nowhere near the floor. I recommend starting off without feeling that end range just yet. Just rock a little side to side. And then bring the knees into the chest. The knees can even splay out a little towards the corners of your mats, towards your armpits. Maybe rock a little side to side. You can even bring the knees around in a circle in both directions. Maybe you also press the knees forward, back, in and out. They can go in same direction, opposite directions, one at a time together. As long as you're moving around the knees, the hips, all is well. All right. Go ahead and place those knees back down onto the floor, and then we're going to take some bridge poses. So you might like the knees a little extra wide. You might like them a little bit more in line with your hips, but the palms can come to the side, or you might even try out to a T. That might be extra support for you, or even back sides of your upper arm down, fingers towards the ceiling. That works for a lot of folks as well. And it's very subtle. So first the tailbone tucks and then lifts towards the ceiling. Try to keep the left and the right hips even. Then we lower it down. And then we go a little bit higher. So tailbone tucks, lift towards the ceiling, and a few more vertebrae reach up. And then they come back down. And then growing, lift, a few more come off the ground. Bring it down. And just keep a steady motion where you lift up, hold for a brief moment, roll it down, imagining one piece of your spine is coming up at a time, and then one piece of your spine is rolling back down. Do a couple more. You might stay at that middle range, or you might press in and go a little bit higher. You might even go slower one direction or the other. If you struggle with lowering one piece at a time, take your time. If you struggle a little bit with lifting one piece at a time, then take a little extra moment to try to segment each piece. And then once you go as high as you would like, hold for this last one. Give a little tug at the heels like they're reaching towards your bottom and you're trying to scoot across your mat. And then lower it down one more time. Nice. And then you're going to come to your side for a moment. I've rolled over onto my left side. We're doing both sides, so it doesn't really matter. Keeping the knees together, it might be nice to have a block or some other item in between the knees for a little separation for the hips. You're going to reach up towards the ceiling with that right arm, and then you can reach back behind you. And only go as far as you feel that first little twinge of, there's the close to end range here. Hold for a brief moment, and then bring it back around. And then one more time where you reach up and back and you get to that twist range where you feel comfortable. And then bring it forward. You're going to switch sides, so my back is going to come to you. And then as you reach up, knees are even. Reach behind you. You might notice right away that one side's a little bit more compliant than the other. And then you do it one more time where you reach up towards the ceiling, keeping the knees even, twist. Bring it back to center, bring it down. And then you can roll back onto your back side. Take a few rocks forward and back until you come to a seat. You can also turn off onto one side or the other and push up. But once you are upright, come to a seated position. Legs cross, whatever you need, maybe something under the bum to just elevate it a little. And first we're going to work to keep our twist with an active range and then a passive range. So to keep it active, you're going to sashay side to side with a twisting action. It's okay if the hips move and the neck and the shoulders move. And then once you come off to your right side, then hold for a moment. And then if you want to go a little bit deeper from this first active twist, you're pulling yourself into the twist, then you can invite that left hand, maybe it pulls at the knee a little bit. And then first try to look back over that right shoulder with the head and the neck. And then let's add a little oppositional twist, look over that left shoulder. And then return to center, nice and chill. Go a little bit back, forward and left and right. And then the next time you go off to that left side, you're going to stick your landing, go as deep as that twist wants to go with its active muscles pulling you towards the twist. And then you get to go passive where you let the hand help with a little leverage. Twist over to look behind you. And then look forward in front of you. And then reset, just a couple of extra little twisties here. And then we're going to come on to the hands and knees. It's kind of nice if you have a pillow or a blanket or something underneath the knees for a little extra support. And once you're on hands and knees, circle around a little through the hips. Add a little extra weight as you shift forward into the wrists. You can even turn fingers out in. You can rock forward and back. Anything that gets those hips turning around in different directions, and then also weights the wrists and gets them a little bit warmed up. You can also come to fists if that's just better for the wrists, or you can add blocks or anything underneath to just elevate the shoulders above your back end. Take some weight off those palms and wrists. And then we're going to go for a cat and a cow, but we're going to start with just the mid to lower all the way down to the tailbone part of our spine. So we're going to keep most of the upper part, the shoulders and all that stable. So you're going to tuck the tailbone, come through an arch in the lower spine, the lumbar, and then untuck the tailbone and let it dip. And just do that a couple of times, forward and back, forward and back. And then you're going to invite the upper part of our spine. So as you untuck the tailbone and the belly drops, then the chest drops too, and the head will lift slightly. And then reverse. So the head comes back down, you press the shoulders back upward, maybe a little extra arch as you tuck the tailbone like a cat. And then unzip from the tailbone to the low back, to the mid-back ribs, chest, head, and then zip it back up. Head, shoulders, arch with your cat, low back, tailbone. And unzip and zip back up a few times. If you find it challenging to control each piece, then take your time in that section that seems the hardest to control. And then once you're done with a few rounds, you can take your hips left and right like you're trying to reach up towards your shoulders. And then from here, you're going to bring the palms a little bit closer to the knees so you can come upright. And then your right leg is going to come forward and you're going to lace up your arms. So I'm going to face you all. So your right arm goes under the left, and maybe it's just the back of your arms meet, or maybe you can have palms meet. But once you get into this twisting action of the arms, then you're going to twist left and right. First round, your right and left hip bones are going to stay exactly where they're at. And you're going to go left, and you're going to go right. We're going both directions, so it doesn't matter which one you did first. And then the second round, when you twist, you're going to let the hips maybe go with you. So right might shift back a little as you twist. And then left might shift as well. And then you can release, extend the fingers down towards the floor, decompress the shoulders away from your neck. And then place that left palm inside next to the foot. You can also place something underneath the palm to help elevate the palm away from the floor. And then reach up with that right arm towards the ceiling. I'm keeping my left and my right hip even for this first one. So if you felt your left hip drop down, your right hip rise up, then reset, try again. You'll unwind back towards the center. And then take it one more time. You can even look up towards the palm, or if it's more comfortable, to the side or down to the floor. Come back upright. Bring that leg in, and we're going to switch. So left foot comes forward. You're going to lace it up with the left arm underneath. And then we're going to take left and right hips facing forward, not budging our twists off to each side. And then for the next round, you can let your hips swivel a little with you and notice, hey, I can go a little bit deeper because I'm letting my hips play and help. It's also just a different sensation, right? Unlace whatever you did with the arms, placing that right palm down this time again. You can elevate with any object. And then the left arm is going to reach up towards the ceiling without the left and right hip shifting. You'll bring that palm down, and then you'll take it again, reach it up. And then you'll close it off, bring it down. You'll shift back. You'll bring that leg back, and then you'll come into a seat once more. And we'll play around a little with the neck and the shoulders before closing it off. So circle round in any direction that you'd like. You can be moving them together. You can be moving them separate. Taking just a couple of casual rolls. And then once you get some rolly action going, then invite the neck to play a little. You can be looking left and right. You can go side to side with the ear. And if you normally feel stopped up in the neck, maybe some of the things that we did for the upper part of our spine help loosen up some bits. So you have a little bit more freedom in your neck. And then to roll the shoulders out just one more time, you're going to scrunch them up towards your ears. If it helps to keep your hands on your knees or next to you, either one's fine. And then you're going to pull that scrunch back so that the shoulder blades come in towards each other. And then you're going to pull the ears down away, pull the shoulders away from the ears. And then you'll let them come forward. You're going to round, but you're still pulling the shoulders away from the ears, and the shoulders are rolling forward. And then keeping them rolled forward, scrunch up. Come back to neutral, reset. Do that one more time. So scrunch, shoulder blades work towards each other in the spine. Pull them down away from the ears. Round forward, you're still pulling them down. Reach them up. Come back to center, reset, and then to the other direction. So scrunch, round, pull them down. Reach them back and up. And then keep moving where we're going to go forward, down, back behind you, up. And then let it go, reset. Any other extra movements you want to make for neck, shoulders, spine, you could always wiggle around. And then one last bit before we close it down. So reach the palms forward, and you're going to press top into bottom and bottom into top hands. And hopefully you're feeling some action with this under the armpit side muscle. And then you're going to switch. And then where you felt that activity in the sides here, try to keep those engaged as you reach the palms back. And the shoulders should be feeling downward away from the ears. Keeping that slight squeeze in the girdle area of the shoulder. Then take another little brief walkabout with the neck and the head. Hopefully you feel a teensy bit more freedom. And then shake it off. If you need to switch your seat, switch your position on the floor, take a moment or two to inhale and exhale. You can even come onto your back if you would like. Or stay upright. Maybe you have a wall, or there's a wall accessible to you and you can lean up against it. Always find time either at the beginning or the end to sit with the sensations after a practice, after a movement. See what might be bubbling up or talking to you. Maybe a particular action or pose struck you as feeling fantastic and you want more. Maybe try that particular movement some other part of your day or week and see if it helps whatever area that needs your attention the most that you might not have noticed before. A few more calming inhale, exhales. And I invite you to stay here as long as you need, as long as you'd like. Just press pause or stop. Enjoy a bit of quiet and calm that's dedicated just to you. Thank you for joining me on the mat today for a little spine twist, spine flex and extension. Maybe trying some new things or some old ones. The light in me, the light in you, the light in all of us that shines brightly, I see and I honor it. Thank you for your practice.